Alright, fifth quick review. Hopefully can save you some time. I decided to pick up the medium because it looked cool, so let's do this. I played about 18 hours to get the platinum trophy, but about like 6 hours to complete the whole game. It's fairly easy, so yeah, let's move on. Alright, before we go any further into this review, I forgot to mention that there are some pretty dark themes. I'm just replaying the game just to get that plat. Yeah, there's some hella dark themes in this. I forgot to mention, so just putting that in there. Right off the bat, after 10 minutes, I knew this game was going to be more story-driven and cinematic rather than gameplay. Story-wise, the medium really reminded me of Beyond Two Souls, minus the decision-making aspect of Beyond Two Souls. The story is spearheaded by Marianne, a medium who can interact with the spiritual realm. She gets a strange call and is given a tip to go to an abandoned resort called Newall, where she will start her investigation and unravel a mystery wrapped up in tragedy. There is tons of lore pieces you pick up as you progress throughout the game. I won't cover that as spoilers can easily turn this video into a 30-minute deep dive about the symbolism and the lore. And fun fact, you can actually find the hotel that you investigate in the game in real life. It's somewhere in Poland or something. Positives. The game really is mostly story driven. Nothing really seemed challenging on my first run except where to go sometimes, but it's mostly straightforward. The puzzles on this game were hardly challenging and I did not need a guide. Since you're a medium, the world you exist in has two realms. You can jump back and forth throughout the story, and this was a refreshing take as you get to see two sides of the realities of the same place. The story was like a thriller, delving further into something that Marianne has to come to grips with. It had me guessing and wondering what's going to come up next. It was kind of like a movie almost. I enjoyed it, so. If you're into symbolism and theory crafting, this game I'm sure is full of it. It could be up your aisle, but I won't delve into that here, so. The graphics were okay, nothing industry changing. The landscapes and set pieces were made with detail, and the dark filters set the mood of the atmosphere. The design of the spiritual realm was an interesting take I found. It was a very creative way of looking at it. The bits and pieces of fibers in the metaphysical spectrum falling apart or tangling away illustrates the inevitable fading of the wisp of a soul, whether it be a person or a place. The sound design, as usual for Team Bloober, was realistic, gritty, intense. The far-off textures and screeches in the Netherworld were essential for building the cloudy landscape of the Netherworld. I said that 2 times. The scenes where you gotta sneak around a demon were intense, and the music and sound design were right there leading the moment, exaggerating the dread of being chased down a corridor. And it does happen. It's kind of freaky. I was on the edge of my seat, hoping I wouldn't get caught, which I definitely did. The voice acting was probably one of the better parts of this game. Marianne has a very soft-like voice when she talks, almost ASMR-like. Soothing compared to the mundane background of her dreadful surroundings. The other characters as well did not shy away from a good performance. Good stuff. Good stuff. There really isn't any music in this game except for 2 songs near the end that gave the conclusion an emotional goodbye. A haunting ballad that wrapped up the game in beautiful harmony. A poetic way to end the character's journey. So nitpicking time. The loading screens were present. I'm not used to seeing loading screens anymore, so it was weird seeing it again. To boot, they were long compared to other games, so if you did die, it felt like a long wait. It was, yeah. The game's puzzles felt a little too easy for this type of game, to be honest. I didn't have any trouble at all. Maybe that was the point though, I'm not sure. But an added ounce of difficulty would have added some weight to your little victories here and there. Of course, there's collectibles, so for the Plat Trophy enthusiasts, you need to collect all of each type of collectibles within one run, or you gotta start all over. And you really can't miss one, as there's no turning back or chapter select, so There is a lot of walking. It's almost like a walking simulator sometimes, and it does not stop. It does not help either that the character does not run very fast. You do like a little jog, and it's a bit provoking on my impatience. I played many games where you run decently fast, so this was a change up I could not get used to. If you're not a fan of slow burn movies, you may not be a fan of slow burn games, and running very slow is not gonna help, so this may not be for you. All in all, in conclusion, I bet being a real life medium is crazy. Team Bloober seems to have a thing for mysteries and horror. I waited for this game to go on sale and I don't regret it. Just like Chronos, playing the game a second time makes it easier to connect the mystery dots together. Same for Chronos. Chronos. You get a different perspective once you do the whole thing again, just like watching a mystery movie. This game is a slow burn, so it may not be for everyone. Fortunately for me, I enjoy slow burn aspects of these types of narratives, so it was no problem for me. I give this game a good 7 out of 11. Story really carried it. I like the story. Stories are great.